Hi everyone and welcome to the Truck King YouTube channel. For 2021, the Can-Am Commander here is brand new from the ground up, and it promises to be the ultimate no-compromise machine. Fun when you hit the trails and ready for hard work when it gets down to it, and we're gonna review it. So in this video, we'll crawl all over this Can-Am. I will show you the really cool features back there in the bed, and then we will hit the trail, hit the mud, and find out if it is as much fun as Can-Am claims. Let's kick it off with the walk around. So I mentioned, yes, for 2021, the Commander is brand new, although you wouldn't exactly know what to look at it, and that's just because it looks a lot like the Maverick Trail and the Maverick Sport, which isn't a bad thing. The Commander has been brought in line with this kind of Can-Am family styling, and I think it looks really good. Now the model you're looking at here today is the Commander XT, which does get some upgrades, but right off the hop, let me tell you about the accessories. We have accessories lights up there in the bumper, accessory quarter windshield, an accessory rack back there in the bed, and an accessory bed extender. I will show you that a little bit more in detail in a second. So those are accessories. Everything else you see here comes standard. You're getting that bumper as standard equipment, that winch 4,000 pounds as standard equipment, the roof comes standard, those big doors come standard. So yes, the XT package offers you a nice little bump up over just the regular DPS model. Now, power here in the Commander comes from only one engine. It is the 1000R. That is a 976cc V-twin liquid-cooled engine making 100 horsepower. Now, in terms of four-wheel drive system, we do have selectable 2- and 4-wheel drive, and in the front end here we have the VSCO Lock front differential, and we're going to put that to the test in a little bit as well, so make sure you stay tuned for the riding. Now let's talk dimensions, and first let me mention this is 64 inches wide, but that is actually only because it's the XT model. Bumping up does get you a little bit more width here. Now besides that, the overall length is 130 inches, overall height here is 74.8 inches, and the wheelbase is 90.6 inches. And that's something else I want to touch on. Can-Am has really pushed out their wheelbases on most of their side-by-sides. I think it's just to have a smoother ride on trail. It definitely works, but it also gives you a worse breakover angle, so it's just something to be aware of. Ground clearance here on this model totals 13 inches, while towing capacity is a stout 2,000 pounds and payload capacity is 1,030 pounds. Estimated dry weight of the machine you are looking at is 1,675 pounds. Now talking about suspension, the travel numbers are easy. It's 15 inches all the way around, 15 in the front and 15 in the back, and yes, you do have A-arm independent suspension at all four corners. Now the tires here, a little bit of a change here too. They're not Maxxis. In fact, they're not a brand you probably recognize. They are XPS. That is Can-Am or Bombardier's in-house oil brand. So honestly, Can-Am is now making their own tires. This is the 28-inch XPS Trail King, and I think you can probably expect these XPS tires to start coming stock on just about every single Can-Am off-road model. Let me take you for a little bit more of a tour of the inside. First, these doors, really nice feeling latch, automotive quality, and then these huge rubber gasket here to make sure all of the water stays out. These are excellent doors. Plus, the inner door shell, you got a nice plastic shell, a nice handle right there. Yeah, this is a great setup. Something else I want to highlight here before I get in, the cup holders here on this Can-Am are very smart. Let me show you why. Down in there, those are actually little rubber bumpers. So once you put your water bottle in, it actually gets held in place. There's so many machines that just have empty plastic cup holders, and the second you start bouncing down the trail, whatever you have in there just gets bounced right out. Now over here on the left of the steering wheel, you have your lights and your winch setup, and I'm gonna go ahead and climb in now. Now down here in the center, stop start of course, you do have sport mode and an eco mode here, so you can control your drive modes. There's your 2-wheel, 4-wheel drive, your rear diff locker. Of course, again, your front diff locker is automatic. Now looking at hand storage, Big glove box up above there. I love this little storage up here in front of the driver. A tiny little cubby down here to my right. And that appears to be about it for storage. Of course, you also have this open cubby up here. Now, another thing I love about these Can-Am machines, and you can't really see it from this angle, me sitting inside, but you sit really low. This is an aggressive, sporty seating position. You sit nice and low, much more like a sports car than like a utility side-by-side. So yes, the seating position is more fun-focused, and the step-in height is something to notice. It's definitely taller than any utility machine I've had recently. Things like the Polaris Ranger or like the Honda Pioneer 520. Those, purely utility machines, they have a low step-in height because you're getting in and out of them all day long. This Can-Am doesn't have that. It's quite a high step to get up in here. Not that big a deal, but those are some of the things you're gonna give up if you want the fun factor rather than just having a work-focused machine. I want to take a closer look at this bed back here because this is really where all the hard work's going to get done. So first of all, you get this big automotive style beefy handle. I like that. No damped tailgate here. Side-by-sides haven't got that fancy yet. And this tailgate drops really hard because it's heavy. Now it's heavy because it has this. Let me show you what this is. This is an accessory, so it doesn't come standard. This is a tailgate extender. So you're getting these little steel walls, and then over here, this drops onto this pin, like so, and you have yourself a slightly longer tailgate. Takes a little bit of doing, but there it is. Now, I think that is a brilliant feature. Anything that makes this bed back here more usable for hauling more cargo is brilliant. Now, besides this cool extender, which again is an accessory, you are getting D-rings in all of your corners up there. You're getting all of these slots so you can, put some lumber in there and make your own bed extender if you want to. Plus we got that accessory rack up there. So yes, there's a lot of convenient features going on back here with the bed. And then when it comes time to dump, there is a handle on both the driver's side and on the passenger side. And it really is a one-handed operation. Nice gas assist shock in there to lift it up. And yes, I did jump my chain, but look, the bed extender held it in there. And of course, dump beds are always nice because they give you perfect access down into your power plant. How big is this bed? Well, dimensions come in at 29.5 inches long, 45.5 inches wide, and 10.6 inches tall. And the total cargo box capacity is 600 pounds. So again, this thing is really ready for some hard work. But now, I think that's enough talking. Let's hit the trail and see how she performs. This seating position is really noticeable. Again, it's nice and sporty. You're down low in this vehicle. It feels much more sports car-like than it does pickup truck-like or utility-like. And once the speeds pick up, 15 inches of suspension travel all the way around is a lot. We were out here running hard on the Hydroline Trail, hitting some big whoops, and the suspension basically just swallowed it up. I couldn't find anything here on the property that I really had to slow down for. So yes, on the fun end of things, this Can-Am absolutely delivers. Besides all of that suspension travel, 100 horsepower out of this 1000R, it feels really good. It hammers hard off the line. I have no complaints about the power, and if you're curious how fast this machine can go, take a look at my top speed run. Let's see how fast she'll go. Ready? In 3, 2, 1, here we go! Okay, well, I started there, but my screen is frozen. How strange is that? I'm gonna go ahead and shut the machine off. And I'm just waiting for the screen to change here. There's buttons down here. There's a menu button and a trip, but they're not doing anything right now. There it goes. Okay, screen shut off. Now let's see if it turns back on okay. Okay, well, that was a strange little freeze up. Let's try again. Okay, now here comes the top speed run in the Can-Am Commander 1000R. I've got it in 4-wheel drive and high. Let's see what she'll do. Here we go. I saw 113 kilometers an hour there, and it wasn't limited. I actually think I would have got a little more out of it if my road was a little bit longer, but I only have a certain length of road here. But right around 113 there, it was just creeping up. So that's right about where your top speed's gonna be. We got a good chance to test the VSCO Lock front differential doing our ditch crossing. You can see it here. Now when the one wheel is all the way in the air, it starts spinning, and then suddenly boom, VSCO Lock transfers power and pulls us out of here. Now the advantage to VSCO Lock is exactly that. You don't have to hit any buttons. The disadvantage is it is nice to be able to choose that when you want it before you get into an obstacle. This is a reactionary system rather than having that button up here that I could put on, before I get into trouble. So yes, some people don't love it because of that, but in our situation today, it did work really well. When it comes to the power steering here, I do feel like Can-Am overboosts it just a little bit. They're definitely on the lighter side of things. The advantage there, when you're really crashing over rocks and stuff, you're not feeling it in your hands. You're not wrestling with the wheel at all. The disadvantage, though, is that bit of a disconnected feeling. When the machine is doing all of that stuff, you want that feedback in your hands. And again, in my opinion, it's a little bit too light here. I like a bit of a heavier wheel. And here in the Commander, you can't change it. Sometimes you can change the weighting on your DPS, your power steering. Here in the Commander, we can't do that. Now let us show you the real world difference between sport mode and eco. So here comes an eco mode takeoff, foot to the floor. In 3, 2, 1, go! And now, sport mode. 3, 2, 1, go! So what does it cost? Well, here in Canada, the base price for a Commander is a little over $20,000, but this XT model is gonna sell for $23,500. Now, in the United States, the base Commander goes for $16,399, but step up into this XT, and you're looking at spending $18,999. And then there's also an XTP model that adds on more off-road gear. Plus, you can get this thing as a 4-seater. So there's a lot of choices in this Commander lineup. So the overall feeling I'm coming away with is the Commander sort of is now based on, like I mentioned, the Maverick Trail and the Maverick Sport. So it really kind of went after those fun-focused machines, but then added on the bed back there. So rather than sort of a utility machine beginning that was built for fun, this is a fun machine, started as a fun machine, and then got that added utility. And that's sort of the way I would have it too if I was to buy one of these. I'd rather have it focused on the fun and then make sure you can do some work as well. And this Can-Am Commander really does do it all. The no compromise side-by-side is truly here. I think when side-by-sides first came out, they were all utility focused and then were converted for fun, but that is certainly no longer the case. Well, folks, we are coming to the end of this video. Now, I really do believe that if you want to get some work done and then have fun on the weekends, this Can-Am Commander is an excellent option. A little bit expensive, sure, but it does exactly what it promises to do. Now, of course, I want to hear your opinion, so please go below, leave me a comment, let me know what you think of the all-new Commander. While you're down there, don't forget to hit like, hit subscribe, hit the join button to become a member of the channel, and then come right back here to Truck King to see what we're testing next. See ya.